Hey, what's good, everyone? So in this video, I want to talk about the PSTV, the little known device that wasn't around for very long. It was initially priced at $100, and I had the luxury of buying it at $100, and then it being lowered down to almost as low as $30, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the features of the PSTV, some of the things you can do. Compare it a little bit to the PS Vita, which is essentially the same operating system, just on a TV. So this does make good for retro gaming in that aspect, that you can load up all types of games on this. You can play PSP games, PS Vita games, as well as, regular Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, I think all the way up to Super Nintendo, and I believe even Nintendo 64, even though that doesn't run that great. But I'm sure you can get a few games to run good on it. So let me just stop here and let me show you how it looks, what I'll be using, as well as showing you the PS Vita. But I'll save a bit more comparison to the PS TV later on. I'm not going to do that in this video. All right, let me show you the PSTV. All right, so here we have the PS Vita. As you can tell, this is what it looks like. You can do a lot of modifications to it, which I'll talk about in another video. You can add themes. You can put games directly on it. You can play retro games, emulators, all that good stuff. Now, let me just show you. There are all the emulators right here. And now let me just show you how the PSTV looks like. So this little box here is the PSTV. Now, this is very similar. It uses the exact same memory cards, the exact same game card. Here is a 64 gigabyte memory card. Now, these memory cards are very expensive, mind you. So I'll show you something else later you can add to it that would work out much better. Now, I'm going to use a PlayStation 3 controller. Now, I'd recommend, if you have an extra PS4 controller lying around, maybe use that, because that I will show you later is how you can use some of the touch capabilities, because some of these games are blacklisted. And here is the item I was talking about. This will replace the game cartridge, but you would put in a micro SD card, which does come in handy for loading up a lot more games and is inexpensive. All right, so just a little bit of information on the PSTV. It was released in October of 2014 and then discontinued February of 2016. So it didn't have a very long life cycle. Now, it was priced at $100 when it was released, and like I mentioned, went as low as $30. One of the plus sides to this is that you would be able to control your PS4 using remote play, which was very useful, and it's still pretty useful even for the PS Vita. So that's something to consider. Now I'm going to just get around and show you the actual gameplay, some of the things you can do. So let's get into the video. All right, so like I mentioned, the bubbles, this is exactly like the PS Vita, where you can tap on it. Some of the games that you can look at. There are many games you can load on. Some great games like God of War, Marvel vs. Capcom. They have some anime games like One Piece. There are a lot of games that you can play here. I have RetroArc installed, so I'll show that a little later on, which is good for emulation. They have some even newer games and some homebrew games like that Zelda game over there. Now, this is what you would use to be able to connect this to the PS4. You just have to do some stuff on that. But there are things you can do to be able to get this to work as if it was not jailbreaked, it was unmodified. So let me just show you. So on Charter here, this is a game that was blacklisted. Now I'm just going to fast forward a little bit through the load screens. I'm going to put it at double speed since it does take a little while to load. Now, like I mentioned, this is one of the games that was blacklisted, and there are ways that you can get around the blacklisting of some of these games in order to play them. So this is where a PS4 would come more in handy. With a PS4, you would be able to, I'll show you in a second, one part says touch the screen in order to play. You'd be able to touch it with the PS4. Now, I don't have my PS4 available at the moment, so I'm just going to get to that load screen. Usually, you wouldn't even be able to get this far if you have an unmodified one. So it's just to show that, yes, you can get to this part. You just need to have it modified with the whitelist there. Okay, so let me just close it out. Let's continue showing you some more stuff. Let's see. Let me show you PSP. So this is called 6.61 Adrenaline. You gotta hit it twice. and it pretty much opens up just like a PSP. Also let it load. It's going loading. There you go. This is just like the PSPs that I have now on the TV. And I just want to show you some gameplay, just to get you a sense that this runs just like a PSP. This is pretty much it's native to the PS Vita family, including this, because you can buy games directly from the store for PSP games and install it. Just give Kingdom Hearts a quick start. Personally, this is one of my favorite PSP games, just because I was able to take it on the go when I had the PSP, which was a big deal at the time. Alright, as you can see, the game runs just fine. Obviously, it's not going to be 1080p. This is not going to be the version that you get for the PS4. This is going to be how it looked on the PSP, just blown up. The controls are better because you can at least make the right analog stick act as something else. You can make it act as the L and R buttons. So if you want to look around, you can make it do that, which does make a huge difference in playing some of these games, considering the PSP only had one analog stick. Let's see if there's anybody. I think I already beat everybody in this section, so I'm already at the end of this game. As you can tell, the game is great. Alright, let's just go somewhere else now. And quitting isn't too difficult to figure out. Just gotta hold you actually do have to hold the power. There you go. And you gotta go to settings, and you gotta go to exit. Alright, just like that, I'm out of there. So, let me just go to RetroArc. Show you a quick game. Okay, it's loading. Alright, here is RetroArc. Now, RetroArc has some bugs, but overall, it does the job. I've played Pokemon Blue on this. I've played some other games. You have, obviously, Genesis games, Super Nintendo games, and regular Nintendo games. I'm sure there's more you can add. And there are plenty of emulators out there that are probably even better than this. They're more individualized. But you know what? Let's just try this Game Boy game real quick. Alright, there you go. Yeah, you can have that on the TV, so it's not that bad. Now, there are many ways you can play these things. You can use it off of an Android TV. You can use, what else? You can use the Wii U. You can use even the Wii. I just want to show you guys something that you might have not seen, or maybe you have this stashed around somewhere that you can use. Alright, just like you just see, RetroArc isn't perfect. Some games do crash, depending on the emulator you choose. So next time I'll just pick a different emulator. It's not really a big deal. That PKG is where you can go to find some games that you might want to get. The relink I already showed you. Alright, let me show you the homebrew game. There are plenty of other homebrews. This one is a Zelda game. So I'll just show this real quick, just to show that homebrews work just fine on this as well. let me go show you some actual PS Vita gameplay. You can see how it would look. Granted, you're not watching this on a TV, you're probably watching this on some type of mobile device, so the scaling won't be as right. I believe this outputs at 720. You know what, it'd probably be faster if I just show. Let me just go to Marvel vs. Capcom. That's probably going to be faster to load up. If not, I'll probably just fast forward to the intro scenes just to skip ahead. Yeah, let's just skip to the intro scenes real quick, or at least fast forward through it.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is here. I'm gonna take you on a wild ride.
That's how it runs. If you've ever had a PS Vita, it runs exactly the same.
Asgard, Sea of Space. Ready? Fight!
Alright, yeah, so this is the video, everyone. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this, please let me know. Please like and subscribe.